Hello and welcome to the sports show featuring Jay and Nate. I'm your co-host, Jay Kim.
I'm your other co-host, Nate Earl.
And today we have another installment of our Olympic series. Instead of a random sport today, we're doing a random country. It's not random for me because I'm South Korean. Spoiler alert, we're doing South Korea.
Right, we have we're talking about three Korean athletes that were kind of relevant over the weekend. The first one is Sajay Hyuk.
Sajay Hyuk.
I still can't say it, sorry. And he was, real quick, he was a weightlifter, lifting how much weight?
Almost twice his weight. I think it was 300 some, 162 kilograms. He was the gold weightlifting champion in Beijing in 2008.
Yeah, and we just have we have a random soundbite of his attempt, but it's the
Before
problem.
we go into that, we should probably explain.
Yeah, we're about to explain. The problem with this though is that as he was lifting, he was doing like a power clean sort of move, and it was the weight was above his head. The bar was above his head.
In squat position.
And he was trying to just keep his balance, and it started to bend behind him. So the bar was bending behind his back, his back, and his arm. He didn't let go of it until like the very end. So his arm got caught with it, and it just looked like it snapped or dislocated or looked like it was broken or something. So we just wanted to play this sound clip real quick because of this horrific accident.
It's kind of hard to tell how bad it is just from the sound clip, and it's hard to find videos of it. On the blog or in the description below, we'll have a link to a story that has pictures from the event too.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, we didn't hear that, so hopefully y'all heard that. So yeah, we just thought it was it kind of just sucks for him that it happened to him. So
and it's kind of hard. You kind of saw how fast it was, just from that audio bite. Watching the video, it's even more pain. It's even harder to see, but it's more painful once you realize what's happened.
Right. So yep, that's the first Korean athlete we want to talk about. The second one is Shin Arum, and
Shin Arum.
Go you.
You're
the expert. Go ahead.
She's a fencer, and she was heavily favored to win gold this year in fencing, women's fencing. And the timer when she was fencing broke, and the other person had 1 second left to get one more hit in. But the timer got stuck, and I'm not quite sure how long the timer was stuck for, but it was stuck for a significant amount of time. And she, because of that, the other team finally, or the other country finally got a hit, which prevented her from advancing. Obviously, she was pretty troubled by it, so she appealed, and for some reason during the appeal process, she wasn't allowed to leave the floor. She had to sit there.
Yeah.
So she sat there for an hour waiting for what would happen, and eventually they said, even though the counter broke, she still got the hit within the time, so she's not she was not allowed to advance. She obviously distraught from this. I don't know how much this affected her next round, but she was battling for bronze, and she lost that.
And she eventually got bronze, right? And,
no, she eventually got a consolation medal, which from last I heard she refused to take.
Oh, and was it a consolation? Okay, it was either bronze or consolation.
No, it was a consolation
Was
medal.
it? Okay.
She lost a bronze match.
That sucks. Yeah, I saw on the news that yeah, she definitely refused to take it, and she was like crying. So I kind of felt bad for her too.
It's kind of hard because she should have at least won the silver medal because the time she didn't get hit in the regulation 1 second, but because the timer broke, the other can't remember what team it was, but the other country got the hit.
Okay, yeah, that's just unfortunate. So 2 unfortunate South Koreans in a row. What's the third one? Just read the name for me.
All right, and the third one is actually a happy story.
Okay, good.
Im Dong-hyun, he got 699 points in archery.
Okay.
Men's individual archery this year. I don't think that's a record though, but you might be saying, oh, that's so impressive. What's really impressive is that this guy is legally blind.
Wow. Okay, I heard about the story too.
And he went into the event with no eyewear, no corrective lenses or anything. Just went in legally blind and all, and just shot his arrows.
Did he medal? Do you know?
Yeah, he got gold.
He got gold. Okay. Wow. There you go. I mean, the South Koreans already win the archery events without being blind. So even the blind ones can do it. If you're from South Korea, you're blind, you probably win an archery event. That's awesome. Okay, those are 3 Korean athletes we want to talk about.
And fun fact, if you're into
Fun
Korea,
fact.
South Korea's soccer team advanced to the quarterfinals for the first time in soccer.
Wow.
So
They're doing work over there in South Korea, I guess, in these Olympics.
I think they're 5th in medals right now, actually.
Right, and I think they had a semifinal in badminton too today. And if they win, they'll be going against China. So I want South Korea to win if they go against China, though, because China is winning the medals race by 2 right now over the United States, which is stupid. I don't know how that's happening, but I feel like we're gonna come back and win at the end, anyways.
Although it's kind of sad because swimming was supposed to be where we got most of our medals, and
we did. We got a lot of medals. We got
not gold medals. It was kind of
I think overall we got the most, but we could have done a lot better than we.
And our gymnastics team did work.
Right.
We actually knocked off China. I think we talked about this in the last podcast. But in the teams gymnastics, we knocked off China in the women's gymnastics, so they were 4th.
That's right. After Beijing, the Beijing Olympics, China team got first, so good for us. But on to swimming. Michael Phelps. Over the weekend, he won the 100-meter butterfly, and he also won the last event of the Olympics for swimming, the 4x100 meter medley relay. So that's a total of 4 gold medals for Michael Phelps, 1 silver and 1 bronze in these Olympics, and he's still the most decorated swimmer in these Olympics, even with his him not doing as well as everyone expected. He still has the most medals, so good for him.
Yeah, and after the 400-meter medley, it was kind of hard to look at Phelps and go, or it was kind of easy looking at Phelps and go, he's way past his prime. I don't expect him to do very well this year. And he listened to those naysayers and definitely proved them wrong. I mean, after the relay race, kind of afterwards where they got silver because Lochte could not hold on, it was kind of easy to look at the U.S. swimming team and go, we had too much expectations from them. But even though Lochte was kind of disappointing to watch, Phelps ended up finishing strong. Like you said, 4 gold medals, 1 silver medal.
Bronze.
And bronze. LeBron's.
I mean, people have to remember that Ryan Lochte was supposed to be the man in these Olympics, but after his big 400 IM win, as you all know, he got bronze in the 200-meter backstroke. He lost to Phelps, got silver in the 200 IM. They obviously lost the 4x100 meter freestyle with him anchoring. He lost the lead. So Lochte definitely disappointed a little bit, and Phelps came up, and even though he had that bad start, he lost the 200-meter butterfly, which was his signature event. He still won 2 golds after that. So, good for him.
It's kind of disappointing, though, to see Lochte fall so hard.
Right. And it's disappointing that Phelps is this is his last Olympics. Everyone's really hoping he goes to Rio, but I feel like he's going to stay retired, play his golf, go to Michigan, which is his college and all that stuff.
I don't know. So, Phelps might enter the next Olympics.
You never know.
Not as many.
You never know, but I'm going to say he's going to stay retired for now. We'll see. But overall, it was a really good swimming Olympics for the U.S. Missy Franklin definitely was the star on the women's side. She had 5 total medals, I think 3 gold, 100-meter backstroke, 200-meter backstroke, and actually 4 golds. 100-meter backstroke, 200-meter backstroke, 4x100 medley relay, and one more, I think. I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, Missy Franklin was definitely the star on the women's side, so I'm glad we definitely had her.
All right, and as a quick aside, last Olympics we talked about how we weren't sure about the if gymnastics were over or not. And as it turned out, Nate was correct. They have individual events too for vaulting, uneven bars, floor, and balance beam.
Right, and since we're talking about gymnastics right now, we'll go ahead and talk about that subject. So Michaela Maroney yesterday did the vault for the individual medal for that, and she was the big favorite to get gold because she does her routine is apparently like the hardest to do. It's like she does a backflip before she goes on to the vault, and it's a blind. It's a blind black backflip. So I don't know. It's just apparently a hard routine, and she does it the best, and she gets the most height from it too. And if you all remember in the team competition when she did the vault, she landed it perfectly and barely got deducted. So she was the heavy gold medal favorite for the vault, but she ended up getting silver to some Romanian, I'm pretty sure. Um, and mainly it was because her first vault was really good. It was an awesome vault. She did her whole entire routine and everything. Her second vault, it was different, but she landed not on her feet. She just landed flat, and she I don't know. The judges took off. I think it was 2 points or something like that.
That's a lot. That's a pretty big
She got a
deduction.
14.2 or 3. So they averaged out the first score and the second score, and she ended up getting like a 14.0 something.
Which, as you said, was still first
It
place.
was first at the time being, but she ended up getting second because the person that went last got the best score. So too bad for her. She was supposed to win that. She could have easily won it if she just landed her second jump. But yeah, it was just disappointing.
Although Michaela's young enough that she might be going to Rio in 2020
Definitely.
or 2016.
Yeah, she's only 20. Or she's only 16 right now. I'm pretty sure. So she'll only be 20 around that time. So yeah, I think she'll have another Olympics just to get the gold in this event.
And I think vaulting is definitely one of the easier events on your body.
Right. It's one run. You just run down. You do your vault and you're done. It's not like the uneven bars where you're just going from bar to bar doing all these crazy flips. So I
Or
agree
it's not
with
even
that.
like the floor or balance beam where
floor,
you have to
right.
land multiple times. It's just 2 landings.
And you're done. You're like literally done in like a few seconds. Like
Not to say it's an easy
right.
event.
It's not
to
easy
do.
at all, but it's
the easiest
It's
on
not
your
very
body.
physical. Yeah. So that's the main gymnastics news over the weekend. Big news over the weekend just happened yesterday. Usain Bolt, 100-meter dash champion, world's fastest man once again. Lots of people were saying that he wasn't, or he's vulnerable, and Johan Blake, who's his fellow Jamaican teammate, was beating him in the Jamaican trials and all that stuff.
I just want to
So-
point out about Johan Blake. He does not look like a track star at all.
Yeah, this dude's swole. He looks like a football, like running back or something.
I mean, he's not tall like Usain Bolt, and he's just buff. He's muscular, not just in his legs, but his chest, his pecs, his arms, everything.
Yeah, and he can still run 9.7500. So this kid's a beast. Everyone thought he was gonna, upset Usain Bolt, or maybe one of the Americans, but ended up being Bolt first with 9.63, which is an Olympic record. Johan Blake got second with 9.75, which tied his personal best. Justin Gatlin, who was, I think he had a 4-year doping ban and came back in 2010. He also won gold in the 2004 Olympics 100-meter dash final. He got third with 9.79, which is also his personal best. And then Tyson Gay, which I love Tyson Gay. I wish he medaled. He got fourth with 9.80. And then actually another American, Ryan Bailey, got fifth with like 9.88, I think. So
And it's kind of interesting. There's 3 Jamaicans and 3 USA.
and they were
racing.
literally side by side. It'd be like Jamaican, USA, Jamaican, USA, Jamaican, USA. That's how they were laid out in the lanes. It's
And
kinda
then
funny.
the 2 of the 3 Jamaicans made it ranked in the next 3, and then the last Jamaican, which Nate was telling about earlier,
Asafa Powell.
he apparently is a pretty good racer. He just could not finish the race. I mean, if you watch the race, but at the halfway point,
I guess he
Stopped
pulled something, I guess, and he just started to stop. But Asafa Powell is known. He's known for getting these really good times, but when it comes to big races, he can never win. He just doesn't. He's not very clutch, I guess. So sucks for him. He's already 30 years old. It's probably going to be his last Olympics, unless he makes it to the next one somehow. But yeah. So I was even though I thought Bolt would win, I was surprised that he won in the way he did. Olympic record time, by a pretty good margin, in my opinion. Even with this really fast race. So
well, I mean, if you guys watch the race, or even if you know that these track stars, Usain Bolt towers over them. Not just like with skill, but physically he towers above them. I remember the commentator saying that it takes Usain Bolt 41 strides to get the 100-meter, while it takes everyone else 44 strides. So obviously he didn't get off the blocks the best, probably better than he has been doing.
Right.
But when you only have to take 41 versus everyone's taking 44, it doesn't really matter that much. Just if you can stay consistent, if you can stay fast, you don't have to worry too much about everyone else. And just like last year, he won pretty overwhelmingly. He actually had to finish the race this time.
Right.
Not like last time where he started celebrating beforehand.
Right.
And for those of you who are worried that Usain Bolt was becoming humble after his 2 defeats to Johan Blake, you do not have to worry about that.
He's still the same.
The commentators asked him if he thought he was going to lose, and he responds, "No, I knew I was the best."
Which I agree with. I think we need people like that. I mean, not everyone can be humble. I think some people need to be like him and just be kind of like cocky or whatever, and just tell him how it is. He's right. I mean, Usain Bolt's right. He is the best. He's the defending 100-meter champion and 200-meter champion.
And he's I think
defended.
He's the only one that won the 100-meter champion gold twice.
No, it's not that. He would make history in these Olympics if he won the 100 and 200 again. If he defended both of them. There's been a few that have defended the 100-meter, I think. But
Okay.
if he won both of them, won both sprints, that'd be huge. But the 200-meter is going to be tougher, in my opinion, because that's Johan Blake's better event. And I think he's going to really challenge him. But we'll see. It's coming up.
And that's going to happen on Thursday.
On Thursday. So we'll definitely do podcast around then. Our next topic, real quick. USA basketball, Team USA, barely beat Lithuania over the weekend. They were down by 1 with like 5 minutes left or something like that. I forgot what the time was. But apparently LeBron James became clutch and lifted that team over Lithuania with a 5-point victory in the end. I don't know, Lithuania, I have no idea who was on that team.
I have no idea where Lithuania is on the map.
Somewhere in Europe, I guess. But yeah, so just wanted to bring you up to date. Really surprised that it came down to that. I felt like if any team would be that close to be either Spain or Argentina or something, but Lithuania, like, are you serious? We've been destroying teams by like 30 points plus. So that was pretty surprising. We'll move on to beach volleyball real quick.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a random sport, but we've actually been seeing a lot of coverage on it on NBC.
It's one of the more popular sports, in my opinion, because there's the men's and the women's, and there's like 2 USA teams for each one. The big news over the weekend was the team of Dalhouser and Rogers, or I think Rogers and Dalhouser, whatever. They lost. So they're out of it now. So we have one more team left, Rosenthal and Gibb, sorry. And they're still there, so they're our last hope. So also Rogers and Dalhouser won in Beijing, so they were kind of the favorites heading into this. So it's too bad for them that they lost. Also, Missy May trainer Carrie Walsh. Obviously they're still in. They lost their first set ever in the Olympics last week, which is crazy because they've been to 2 Olympics and a bunch of matches. So, but they're still in. They're doing well. They look like the old Missy May and Carrie Walsh. So they're looking good. And yeah, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I'm just kind of surprised that beach volleyball was. I guess I don't know. I didn't see too much coverage of it during Beijing. It just seemed like it got really popular this year.
Yeah, it's just really popular. It's just probably because the guys like looking at all the girls and stuff. But I have no idea.
Although to be fair, I guess once USA wins gold in an event, it becomes popular the next event.
That's true, and we've won 2 golds already.
I mean, swimming wasn't that popular until Phelps started swimming for USA.
Yeah, I guess that's a correct statement. I mean, it was kind of in the radar, but it wasn't very. Yeah, it just wasn't very popular. So I agree.
And I think now is our biggest news, in my opinion, that happened this weekend: tennis. Unless we have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, tennis is our biggest news over the weekend, I guess.
First of all, I'd like to
debatable, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess debatable. It's certainly the biggest, I think, in the Olympics if you're not American, because of Murray.
I don't know about that either. It's either Usain Bolt or tennis. But anyways, tennis.
So first of all, Sharapova and Serena Williams made it to the finals for women's tennis singles. Sharapova's been wrecking pretty well, I think, until the finals. And I guess historically, she hasn't been doing very good against Serena Williams. Generally, she only takes 1 or 2 sets off of Serena before getting obliterated, if I'm allowed to say that. And today, or
one or
not
two
today,
sets. If she took off 2 sets, that'd be a 5-set match.
or not sets, points,
Games.
games. I'm not good with tennis.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're fine.
And actually, this past weekend, Sharapova went 6-0. Well, she went 0, and then 6-1.
So yeah, what he's saying is Serena won 6-0, 6-1. 6
Yeah.
love, 6-1. My bad.
And actually, I think the entire game itself was pretty short too.
Yeah, it was a quick match.
Yeah, it felt like less than 2 hours, I believe.
Probably way less than that. Yeah. So Serena once again asserting her dominance. I've never seen a tennis player just being able to take time off and being able to come back and just be dominant. She's done that multiple times in her career. Last time she did it was last year. She kind of started off slow, but I mean by this year, I mean she already won Wimbledon already. So she's a beast.
I remember people last year talking about how Serena can't play anymore. She's taking too much time off. She's not the same Serena. She's proven yet again that she can still play tennis despite taking so many breaks.
And she's still easily the best women's tennis player. After Serena's gone, I mean, we're going to have just random people winning.
Maybe Sharapova.
I mean, yeah, we got a Sharapova every once in a while. But when Serena's gone, maybe she'll be here for a while. I think she will be. But whenever she's gone, it's going to, unless someone else steps up, which no one has yet, it's just going to be random people every single event. Not random people, but like random top people. It's not going to be one main person. So I'm really glad that she's there to have some dominance. Like I feel like women's tennis really needs that.
And she also won the women's double with her sister Venus, which I think makes her the third woman to win every major tennis champion.
Right. Yeah, Serena's won the Golden Slam, which means she's won every single Grand Slam and she's won an Olympic gold medal. So that's huge for her. She's had a long career, and this is her first Olympic gold. So I think it's surprising, actually. So that's huge for her.
But I think bigger news was Andy Murray versus Federer.
Right, talk about another guy trying to win the Golden Slam and Roger Federer, and what happened?
Andy Murray beat him. I'm not quite sure what the score was. I was heavily medicated at the time of the game.
Not in a bad way, but
I just had surgery, so
yeah. I believe it was like 6-2, 6-1, 6-4. Andy Murray beat Roger Federer, and to be honest, I watched most of this match, and Federer just looked off. And also Murray was just going nuts. I swear, every single shot he hit, every single passing shot he hit would drop in, like he's hitting amazing angles. I just feel like it was his day, and he knew he knew what the moment was, and it would have sucked for him if he lost to Federer in Wimbledon and the Olympics in London. So maybe Federer was just kind of going easy on him. I don't know.
I don't know. Though during the Wimbledon final too, Federer was not looking too good until he started getting his streak back. Like we said last time, the first 2 sets were kind of harder on Federer, even though he won the second set. I think Andy Murray, he knew what was at stake. He knew that he would never have this opportunity again to basically get his revenge from Wimbledon
in his home country.
But like we also mentioned in our first Olympic podcast, tennis players don't generally seem to take the Olympic tennis as hard. It's not as long. It's only 4 rounds versus usual 7.
Right.
And Murray definitely had a lot to lose. Federer doesn't really have as much to lose. He's 1 Olympic gold away from winning every major tennis title from the Golden Slam.
And he's already won Olympic gold in doubles in Beijing. So
and despite the fact that a lot of people are talking about Federer retiring, he looks good. He looked good during Wimbledon. He looked good during the French Open. I didn't really watch the Australian Open. I guess we'll see how good he looks in the U.S. Open.
This U.S. Open is going to be really interesting, by the way, just because it's been Djokovic winning the Australian, Nadal in the French, Federer, Wimbledon. I guess Murray, the Olympics, and then who's going to win the U.S. Open? I feel like that'd be
Tsonga,
Tsonga. I don't know. We're just going to go
top 5.
Yeah, so whoever wins the U.S. Open is going to solidify this year. It's going to really make the year for them. So
It's actually been a pretty interesting year.
it has been. There has been a year like because seriously, the whole entire 2000s decade, it's been Federer winning everything, Nadal winning French, and that's it. Mainly in the later half of the 2000s. So with 3 different Grand Slam winners so far, it's going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, just real quick. Also for the Olympics, tennis Olympics, it's only best out of 3 sets for the first 3 rounds. In the final, it's best out of 5. So overall, it's not hurting your body too much, unlike a Grand Slam, which is best out of 5 for 7 straight rounds. So that's another thing.
Yeah. Especially with men's tennis, where sets seem to go a little bit faster than women's sets. I don't watch too much women's tennis, so that might just be really sexist of me to say. But I remember when in the early or in the mid '90s when Serena and Venus went against some guy ranked in the 200s for tennis, they were just saying how going against a man was a lot faster and just really fast paced and stuff. And yes, this was a while back when they weren't as good. I don't even think they were legal age yet. But
Yeah, so it was a guy ranked outside the 200 versus Serena, who was only 16, right? Right?
yeah, I think she was 16.
Or somewhere around there. And so Serena got or lost that, right?
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
Venus, she came by and Venus went first.
Okay.
And then Serena took 2 sets, or not 2 sets, 2 points off of 2 games off of him before he, I guess he turned it up. He was saying that he was going easy and he was playing a 400 level.
That'd be really interesting to see, Serena now versus someone outside the 200, the top 200 in men's tennis. See how they would actually compare against each other. That'd be really interesting to see. But yeah. So tennis, some big news. Andy Murray got some, his breakthrough kind of. I mean, it's only the Olympics. It's only 750 points added to his ranking, and he's probably still going to be number 3 or 4. I think. I don't think he's going to pass Nadal.
Although he might, because Nadal didn't even play in the Olympics.
Yeah, he might barely, but once again, not a big deal. There are a bunch of tournaments that are actually valued higher than the Olympics. Obviously, the Masters series are all 1,000 points. The Grand Slams are all, I think, 2,000. This is only 750 for the winner. So it just shows you the value that they're giving it so far. But it's still a big win for Murray, though.
And who knows, this might solidify Murray into the top ranks of tennis players. We mentioned before, I don't know if we've ever released it, that between Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal, those are all, they're kind of interchangeable, with Nadal arguably being the weakest there, except in the French Open. And then there's a huge cutoff to Murray, who's 4th.
Right. Yeah, that's been the main story. There's been a big 3, and Murray's just been kind of like this outsider trying to peek in or whatever. And so yeah, I think this might start or jumpstart Murray's career. Maybe this will give him some momentum. He has a new coach. He's had a new coach this whole entire year with Ivan Lendl, who's won 8 Grand Slams. So he knows what it takes, and he's going to be a good influence on him. So I think Murray's on the right path. I think he has a good chance to win the U.S. Open. So
and Murray during the Olympics actually had to prove himself. During Wimbledon, his hardest game was against Del Potro. I think, was it Del Potro? No, it was against Tsonga.
Tsonga, yeah.
Yeah, it was against Tsonga.
No, it was Djokovic and Tsonga.
No, it was Djokovic and Federer.
But before that, I think
semis.
was it Tsonga and No, that was the French Open. My bad. You're right. It was Murray and Tsonga.
And Tsonga's good, not to take anything away from him, but he's no Djokovic. Djokovic is in the top 3. And for him to defeat Djokovic in the Olympics, like we mentioned in the last podcast, Djokovic was clearly going to be the winner. Apparently not. That's a hard.
Well, I didn't think he was going to be the clear winner, but he definitely might have been the favorite just because of how he was playing. But Djokovic actually lost to Juan Martín Del Potro in the bronze medal match. So I don't know where he's at mentally and physically. Maybe he's just kind of I don't know where he's at.
Maybe
Maybe
he's
he's
just
not.
focused on the U.S.
He's
Open.
not taking this as seriously. Maybe he just wasn't playing as well. Who knows? But we'll see what this U.S. Open is going to tell us a lot. So we'll wait till then.
All right, and I think that's all we have for today. So this is a sports show featuring Jay and Nate. I'm your host, Jay Kim.
And I'm your other co-host, Nate Earl. Thanks for listening.